welcome to another edition of the Josh Hose Show. I'm your host, Dave Sheets, and with me is the head coach of the Massillon Tigers, Josh Hose. We want to thank our season-long sponsor, Reliable Heating and Cooling. Josh, welcome to the show.
Always glad to be here.
Coach, your Tigers are now 5-5 on the season after picking up another win this past week. Last Friday, the Tigers won at Central Catholic by 11 in the Crusaders gym. Tell us more about that game.
Yeah, tough game, knowing where we're going. Central is always a tough place to play. It's a loud environment. We told our guys, even if there's like about 100 people there, it will feel like a lot more than that. Well-coached team. Coach Creamer does a great job, obviously. And they've been playing well. They lost their best player to a shoulder injury, and then another player just decided to leave the team for personal reasons. And they had a really rough game at Mooney, but then since then they've rebounded and had a really good run of games where they played really well. They took Lake, one of the better teams in the area, to overtime recently. And so, we knew it was going to be a tough game for us. And, we had our points where we were up 10, 12 points, and then right before halftime, blew that lead, went in up 1, did not play very smart basketball at the end of the half, didn't finish it well. And then, got our lead up to 17 in the second half, and then they cut it to 6 with about a minute left. So it's just, but I told our guys, I said, they're a strong second and fourth quarter team for whatever reasons. They just played Northwest Tuesday, and, I was at that game, and Northwest had 4 points in the second quarter and 2 in the fourth quarter, and ended up losing that game. But they finished halves and and games strong. So we were able to stop their run at the end of the half, just enough to keep our lead. And then at the end of the game, we were able to rebound back and get back to a 10-point advantage. And kids played really well overall. I mean, a lot of kids really contributed. And Brennan coming up here, he had a really good game for us. He's really stringing a couple good games in a row together. So kind of finding his way. He was struggling to hit some shots early, and really starting to hit his stride right now.
Because of its size, places like Central Catholic can be difficult places to get a win. Is that a talking point with your team as you game plan to face an opponent on the road in a tough environment?
Yeah, you acknowledge it, because I think just prep your kids mentally. Like, it's going to be a tough place to play. It's going to be loud. It's going to be a smaller court or longer. Like you go to Ashland, it's a really long court. So every place, especially the older gyms, and we always talk about it. I love an older gym. Like, and I mean personally, I do, and I think that's something we try to tell our guys, embrace. These unique gyms, because most of the new gyms, like even ours, are just like big open boxes. They don't have a whole lot of character. But some of these older gyms, we went to New Philly, you're really unique gym, really different settings, crowds right on top of you. So we talk about it just to prep them mentally, so they go in there. It's not like shock, but I thought our kids were pretty amped up to play. I think they responded really well to it. They just could see them walk on the court. It was kind of a fun atmosphere, and we definitely try to prepare ourselves mentally for it, but don't make it more than what it is.
This past Monday, your scheduled game at Perry was postponed. Obviously, we all know about the weather we've had the last few days. Now, will that game be made up, and do you have any other details about that?
Yeah, so Coach Spurgeon and I can't remember the AD's name over there right offhand, but we worked yesterday and got a date for February 5th. So we're going to go over there on a Saturday and play. So we'll have a back-to-back. We haven't had too many of those scheduled at the end of the season, but it's good we kept some Saturdays open, because we needed to use those at the end of the year here. So we'll go over there on February 5th, play a triple header like we had scheduled, and again, another local game. You wanted to keep that one because it's a local rival, and so we wanted to work hard to make sure we could keep that game.
You were also facing a back-to-back with playing Wadsworth this past Tuesday as well. Now, that game was canceled. Will that game be made up?
Yes. Yes, worked on that yesterday also with their coach, and we that was a little more difficult. We worked around several dates. With our two schedules being kind of a lot of conflicts and all that, we ended up settling on February 14th, Monday. So Valentine's Day, cancel your plans and come up to Wadsworth, watch us play. No, we settled down on that because they had games where they were going to have several games in a week, and we had other dates that didn't work for us. So I think it seemed to be the most amicable date that we could come up with. So we agreed on that, and hopefully, like I said, the weather and COVID and all that stuff works out. We don't have to mess with any more games like that.
Mm-hmm. Well, we've certainly been off schedule the last couple of days. We had the big snow Sunday night into Monday. Monday's Martin Luther King, so no school. No school on Tuesday of this week. How about your practice scheduling since last Friday's game? How often have you seen the guys, and how much work have you got in?
Well, we ended up coming in Saturday morning, like 9:30 to 11, and just did a lot of running and shooting. Just not like conditioning, but just running up and down the court, get some shots up, some different drills we do just to get our kids up and down the court, get some of the soreness out. Stretched a lot, and got them out of here by 11. And Sunday the gym was full. We don't like to do Sundays a lot, and you know, even if we have a Monday game, I try to avoid them. With us not having school, our plan was to come in Monday before, you know, the game a little bit and just get guys moving around a little bit and before we head over to Perry. But obviously the weather changed plans, and we got a message that we weren't even allowed to come in on Monday. So, you know, that was probably the best decision because some of the main roads were good, but I guess the side roads were really sloppy even into yesterday. And you know, again, talking to Brennan, you know, he said he couldn't even get out of his driveway. You know, so, you know, we had a couple guys like, Coach, I might need a ride. And so I'm glad we decided not to come in on Monday. And then Tuesday, yesterday we came in the afternoon once the weather kind of broke a little bit and got a little sun out there and melted some of that, you know, residual stuff that was left out there. We were able to get in, and I'm glad we didn't play in hindsight, like I was telling you earlier, because those days tend to be sloppy practices. Kids have been laying around, sleeping in, staying up late, etc. You know, stuff kids do on snow days, and so the practices are a little bit sloppy. And I've seen games like that in the past where we've played in or watched where it's pretty sloppy too.
Right. Well, in a moment we'll meet a Tiger player, but first this word from Reliable Heating and Cooling.
Everything that goes into a Lennox system is engineered for absolute comfort. Like the parts that create your perfect temperature and humidity, or the parts that purify the air. Together, all these parts save you up to half off your heating and cooling bills. And there are few things more comforting than that.
The future of home comfort is here now at Reliable Heating and Cooling. Get the latest innovation and technology at Reliable.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
Thanks to Reliable Heating and Cooling, and welcome back to the Josh Ho Show. Our Tiger player this week is junior guard Brennan Crow. Brennan, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Brennan, how old were you when you first learned the game of basketball, and do you remember who taught it to you?
I think I was 7 years old. My dad taught it to me. I played at the Massillon League at the high school, which was really cool because I was like super young, but I also got to play where I play now. Mm-hmm. And I was in AAU at the Boys and Girls Club. That's really where I got the love for the game, you know. And I just really liked playing it. We weren't really that good. We probably had like 3 wins, something like that, getting blown out every game.
Right.
But it was just fun being around my teammates, and that's really where I got the love for it.
Excellent, excellent. What are some of the things that you worked on in this past off season to get better?
During the off season, I can only come to basketball probably like 2 times a week because I have baseball. But in those days, I worked on my handles. I'm not really that good with my left hand, so I got to really like work on it because in the season, you're really gonna have to use it because they have like scouting reports that it would say force you right, and you really need that second hand for finishes and dribbling. And that's really the main thing I worked on.
You mentioned you play baseball. What position do you play?
Center field.
Center field, excellent. Now you're listed as a starter at guard for the Tigers. What is your main role on this team? The main role
is probably defense. I got to play defense. Like if my shot isn't falling or I'm turning it over, I can always get it back on the defensive side, which is nice. And if we're all playing defense, that's when everybody gets hot. Like at Northwestern, we were playing some defense. We went on like a 17-2 run, and that's whenever everything just goes. It's all fun, like getting turnovers, dissing it down court. We have Dell Duncan. It just gets the hype.
5 wins, 5 losses after the first 10 games this year. What is the team doing well? And what areas can you see improvement?
We're pretty much doing well in like ball movement. We're trying to get everybody involved. We love seeing each other score. Like whenever I was making shots, finally the bench is getting hype. My coaches are getting hype. And then we really need to work on like communicating on the backside. Right now, teams that like move off the ball are killing us on the backside. Central was really good at it. Setting back screens, dishing it backdoor, and then like federal league teams are really good at like ball movement. They're patient, and we just need to play defense for that long of time, and we just need to work on it.
Excellent. And finally, tell us something about Coach Hose that maybe most people don't know.
He really cares for his like players. Like yesterday, I texted him I might not be able to get out my driveway, and he texted me, if you need a ride, just holler at me, or if you need help getting out, just text me. He just really cares about everybody. Like, if he gets mad at you one day, he'll like text you behind the scenes and apologize. and he'll just do anything for his players. We also had like a eat day at his house after practice where we got like BW3s. He just cares for his players way more than people think.
Excellent, excellent. Well, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Brennan Crow here on the show this week, and Coach Hose will rejoin our program after these messages.
Hello, and welcome to the Stark County Humane Society. Today we're going to give you a few pointers when considering adopting a new furry friend. All animals here at the Stark County Humane Society are spayed, neutered, microchipped, vaccinated, dewormed, and if old enough, heartworm tested for our canine friends. Adopters will receive a free exam within 2 weeks of adoption at local veterinarian hospitals. We encourage all adopters to take full advantage of this. A one-time adoption fee is required for your new furry friend. When you adopt, you get an awesome adoption packet that includes treats for your new fur baby and savings for you. But this is not where the cost of adoption stops. Did you know the average cost of an animal like a new puppy or kitten can cost up to $500 annually? This includes annual veterinarian visits, preventative care, and everyday supplies like crate, litter, food, toys. But I hope this doesn't scare you away. Adopting an animal is a huge responsibility and a commitment. Please take the time to consider the cost of adopting a new pet into your family today. I hope to see you soon at the Stark County Humane Society. Please visit our website or visit us on social media for more information.
And welcome back to the Josh Hose Show. Coach, we just spoke with junior guard Brennan Crow. How would you grade out Brennan's performance so far this season?
Brennan's had a really good year for us. I know, like I was saying earlier, he struggled early to get the shots falling. But he's really, he had 5 of 6 threes over at Worcester, or Classic at Worcester against Northwestern. And, he's really shot the ball well recently. And I think the thing for Brennan, though, is he went to the hoop a couple times, got some easy ones. To see that ball go through the net. And I think really one of his better games that kind of turned the corner for him this year was the McKinley game. Not that he scored a great deal, but he was really scrappy in that game. I was really okay with the way he played. Walked out of there if we get guys to play with that effort, we're going to be okay. And so that's one thing I think I value with Brennan, the most is his grit and scrappiness that he plays with. He plays with a little bit of a chip on his shoulder, and I think our team responds well to that. And I really think he makes those gritty plays, diving for a loose ball, a deflection here, a key rebound here for a guy that's maybe one of the smaller guys on the court. He plays with a toughness and a moxie out there. It really just, like I said, I think our team really responds well to it. So he's had a good year, and I think it's starting to go on the upswing here too for him offensively, where he's starting to find his shot a little bit. All
right, in this upcoming week, we have 2 more games to talk about. Saturday night, a rare home game these days, scheduled to take on the Ashland Arrows and the Tiger Gym. What can you tell us about Ashland this year?
Ashland's a good team. They got a lot of their guys back from last year. They got their best player back. Last name's Dembo, and Luke. His brother played for him a couple years ago. Really good player, and I think he set the school record earlier this year for scoring. And so he had 42 the other night. He's averaging about 28 a game right now, and he can put the ball in the hoop a lot. And so we know he's going to score baskets. Our key is maybe shut down some of the other guys. As they get going, let him kind of do his thing, but just don't let any other guys really affect us. Because he's a quality. He plays the game really well. He plays the game the right way, and so if we can kind of control him and not let him go on crazy, and then like I said, kind of keep those other guys limited, I think we'll be okay. But they're 10-4 right now, and they're playing well. They play out there in the OCC, so they have some quality opponents, and it's going to be a good matchup for us. We've always had close games with them. The years since I've been here, it's either been a 1 or 2 possession game, or one right at the buzzer on a made shot or a missed shot. So I look forward to a really closely contested game on Saturday night.
And then before next week's show, next Tuesday night, January 25th, back on the road at Coventry. How about a scouting report on the Comets?
Country's coached by an ex-Tiger, Devin McAfee. I think he played for Coach Creamer maybe, or Coach Taylor. I can't remember where his time frame is. But he's coming to our summer league a little bit. He's trying to build something up there. Don't know a whole lot about them right now. We saw him this summer. I know his boy's really good, and I think he's a junior or senior. And we'll get into that scouting report a little bit more later this week and moving into next week. But I think they're around that 500 mark, or just slightly short of that, and so they've had some good and bad, and just it's going to be a new opponent. We added them to the schedule this year, and those are always tough ones because you don't know a whole lot what to expect going into another foreign gym. Haven't played there before, so our guys just mentally got to be prepared to go in there, and on the road you just don't know how things are going to go, and so. Like you said, rare home games. So, we're going to be on the road a lot at the end of the season, which will be good for us in tournament time. But I think that'll be a good game for us. Moving into tournament time, playing again a different opponent and having to play a little differently and scout a little differently. And I think our kids will be ready to go on the road.
And finally, as we sit about halfway through the regular season now, how about giving us an update on the JV and freshman teams?
All right, so JV and freshman right now, freshman team, I think they're sitting at 1 or 2 losses. Really having a good year. It's obviously a very deep class. We kept 17 freshmen. 2 of them have played with the varsity most of the year, and Brady Manson and Jalen Slaughter. Brady started to play some a little bit of JV too, but then he broke his hand over at Northwestern, the game at Worcester. So he's out a couple weeks. We got several of those guys on the JV team as well that do a little bit of JV and freshmen. And so, they're having a good year. Coach Conley's done his first year with us, has done a great job. And so, no surprise there. JV has been a little bit tough this year. They've got 2 wins and a lot of close losses. And I'll take the blame for that one. I told Coach Smith that, he's got kind of a team that's some freshmen and some varsity guys. He's very few guys that are just JV guys, and so he's kind of got a hybrid team. And a lot of times our conversations going into games are, okay, you got this kid for 2 quarters tonight, this guy for 3, this one's for 4, and that's a tough balancing act to juggle all that. Right. And so JV's kind of that tough level. Sometimes I've coached it. You kind of just deal with what you have, and you coach, the guys that you're allowed to use, and okay, I got this guy too, so I'm going to play him the first and third quarter. Or there's even times I'm like, okay, you can't play this guy in the fourth. I want him in the locker room with us. So it doesn't always give him the easiest job. And then there's other years, like the year they go 21-0, he pretty much had a core group of guys that you practice with every day, you play with every game, and the quarter things doesn't come into context. So they'll figure it out. Like I said, they've been in a lot of close games. It's just been tough because maybe they don't have the key guys they need at the end of the game to finish it out. But there are a lot of good things going on in our program, middle school on up, that are seeing a lot of development and a lot of guys getting play.
Excellent. All right, thanks, Coach.
You're welcome.
As we wrap up another edition of the Josh Host Show, we want to thank Reliable Heating and Cooling for their sponsorship again this season. Thanks again to Coach Hose and junior guard Brennan Crow for joining us. I'm your host, Dave Sheets. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Tigers.
Massillon City Schools is proud to have one of the top career technical education programs in the state of Ohio, recently receiving a #1 ranking of the 93 districts in the area of achievement. Our career technical education department offers 14 pathways preparing students for college and careers. All students have the opportunity to participate and compete in their career technical student organization, as well as obtain valuable experience in the field while earning aligned industry credentials and/or college credit in high school. Visit massillonschools.org for more information.
Bye, sweetie. I love you.
Bye, Mommy. I love you.
No matter where life takes you, MCTV helps make sure you're never far from home.
Hi. Are you being good for Daddy?
Yes. Can we read a bedtime story?
MCTV connects you to home because that's what matters most.
Good night. Sweet dreams.
MCTV. We go the extra smile.